So what got you into then shifting from brokerage to like private lending? What was it? Was it something that you kind of dabbled in, or was it like did you get a new business partner? What was the impetus to kind of move? Because I mean, they're in the same space, but at the same time, they're also very different beasts altogether. They may be in the same industry, but it's like two totally different businesses.
For sure. It's like saying that residential and commercial mortgages are all just mortgages, right? It's very different. We're today really an alternative investments company. A large part of our business is fundraising, working in that space. When I was a broker, I did a lot of private mortgages, and alternative mortgages was my specialty to begin with. And so there was a little bit of crossover, as everybody knows. Sometimes you have a friend or a cousin or somebody who finds you and says, "Can you invest money for me? You're a mortgage broker." So a little bit at the beginning, that's when it was running both ways. We started, having a little bit of that experience, and then ultimately, what happened was there was really a pivotal period after the subprime crisis in Canada where the regulatory environment changed. And so private lending went from being sort of, this underground lending community that was hard to access to becoming a little bit more accessible and more mainstream, a little bit more accepted by both the consumer and mortgage brokers at large. When I got into the industry, it was really a very small subset of mortgage brokers who did private mortgages. Today, lenders like CMI make it, kind of accessible on Filogix, and everybody knows who the private lenders are. So that's been a genesis of the industry in certainly the last decade. But when I was a mortgage broker, that was all changing, and so I saw the opportunity of moving into the lending side because I expected that industry was going to grow, and that by the banks pushing off what was essentially qualified mortgages days before into the alternative space, it was going to create a domino effect where, which it has, you would have more business going to alternative lenders, which in turn would then become more restrictive. Today, half of them are banks themselves, anyways, and they're also regulated, which probably no one foresaw as much at that time. So you've really had a larger share of the market segment move into the private space. And the B20 regulatory environment in the beginning of that was really the catalyst for all that change. And so by recognizing that opportunity and shifting and pivoting the business into that,